Good afternoon, or good morning, you beautiful people. Hope you guys like the shirt, Deadlifts and Gummy Bears. I love it, but anyways, no coffee cardio and sex today, just BB&T coffee, so that is what it is. But this video right here, going to be a video about off-season, bulking. I like to say off-season, not bulking, just because the bad stigma bulking has got around it, the word bulking has got around it in the fitness industry these past couple of years. But going to be talking about the off-season for bodybuilding, for powerlifting, for whatever. And the timestamps in the description as always. The main things we'll be covering is how to do it, I guess you could say, the mindset, the mentality that goes into it, and then the nutrition side of things and the training side of things. So, timestamps in the description, let's get started. Yeah, I'd like to start with training. So, whenever it comes to training during the off-season, it should be relatively similar to your training during on season, or during a cut, I guess you could say. The only difference is going to be the amount of volume and the workload that you can do because of the amount of food that you're eating. So the main thing I want to stress whenever it comes to training is that you need to be pushing yourself. You need to be training balls to the freaking wall. You can't be, pussifying your training with trying to make excuses for yourself, saying, oh, I need to take a day off just because you're a little sleepy. If you're throwing all these extra calories into your body, you need to put them to use. Otherwise, where do you think all that's going to go? It's going to go straight to, body fat. You're not going to make any progress. There will come a point in your off season where you've been training for, like, say 6 weeks nonstop, really intense, and you need to pull back and deload a little bit, let the joints and central nervous system recover. Well, that's different to saying, okay, I've been pushing it on the bulk for like 2-3 weeks now, and I'm feeling a little tired today, so I'm just going to pull back. You can't really do that. You can do that, but should you do that? No. Why? Because again, putting all these extra calories into your body, so why would you waste them? Why would you not go heavy? Why would you not push yourself to your freaking limits and try to push past your limits? Because if you're going into the gym, especially during the off season, especially whenever you're eating all this extra food and you're not pushing yourself, you're leaving so much on the table. You're just, sure, you can continue to progress by not going 100%, but why would you do that? If the goal is to go to the gym and progress as much as possible, if you're putting all this food into yourself, if you're taking your rest, if you're on this training plan, why would you not push yourself to 100% and hold yourself back like that? Main thing whenever it comes to training is make sure you're pushing yourself, make sure you're taking it to failure, make sure you're going balls to the wall. Have deload after about 5 to 6 weeks once your body starts to say, alright, I'm really fatigued now. And then as you progress throughout the off season, up volume a little bit, continue to increase volume, continue to progress, progressive overload, whether that's by increasing volume or just by increasing weight on certain exercises, then do that. But those are the main things in off season. Train hard, train heavy, make sure you're progressing in one way or another, whether that be increasing volume or increasing the weight that you're using. So, moving on to the next point, which is going to be nutrition. It's something that a lot of people get wrong whenever they hear bulking. Whenever you're bulking, this does not mean go eat a whole bunch of Lenny and Larry cookies and try to, make yourself fat, or go binge out on some Ben & Jerry's every other night or anything like that. If you want to have some Ben & Jerry's, sure, have some Ben & Jerry's, but only do it maybe once a week. Take your time. Don't go freaking crazy with the junk food. You can have some here and there, but whenever you're bulking, you want the food to be nutrient dense. You want the food to be food that will actually contribute to muscle recovery, to good mental clarity, to good sleep and good digestion. Because personally, I like potatoes. They're really good nutrients with potassium. Throw some salt on there, have some sodium, because I like training in the morning, so I get in my electrolytes, sodium, potassium, down some water, and then head out to the gym, and I'm good to go. For me, that digests really quick. Some people, potatoes don't digest that quick, but if you like potatoes with breakfast, then do some hash browns up or something like that, and there you go. That's way better than pancake syrup. So basically, on the nutrition side of things, make sure it's calorie dense, okay? So you're eating a lot of food, but make sure the food that you're eating, most of it, at least like 80-85% of it, is nutrient dense food. Again, this comes back to wasting your potential. Why would you waste your potential knowing that you could be making better choices with your food, but instead you're eating Ben & Jerry's, or you're eating cake or something like that as like pre-workout or before you go to bed at night? There will come a point during your bulk where, or your off season, where if you're eating nutrient dense food, you're not just putting down a whole bunch of junk food, but if you're actually eating nutrient dense food, pushing yourself hard in the gym, and you've been going for a couple months nonstop, it is going to be hard to continue eating those potatoes. It's going to be hard to continue eating that chicken breast just because you're eating so much the volume of food. You're going to feel full 24/7. You're going to go to the gym. You're going to be like, oh, I really don't want to do this. What you can do is try adding in some cardio. Walk a little bit after your meals. Help with digestion. It helps a lot more than you think, just 10-minute walks. But the real thing I want to talk about here is you got to go into the bulk the same way you would anything else whenever it comes to weightlifting or whenever it comes to cutting. You have to go in with the mindset with however tough it gets, you're going to push through and you're going to keep going no matter what. And the thing is, a proper off season should last for at least, in my opinion, I'd like to say no less than 14 weeks, at least like 3 months. That's not even like a proper bulk in my opinion, but ideally 20 plus weeks, because it just takes that long to put on muscle. You can drop body fat really quickly. Don't get me wrong. You can drop that stuff really quickly if you have the mentality for a hardcore deficit and hardcore training during that hardcore deficit. But whenever it comes to actually building muscle mass, it is a very slow and long process. Building muscle mass is what takes time. So you want to make sure that you have the proper mindset to go into this, to push through it all, to make sure you're eating your meals, getting in your calories. Go into the gym with the mindset of making those weights your bitch. You know, if you guys see Sam Sulek, someone that's really popular right now actually, see how he trains, that's how you want to train. And then the next thing with bulking, nutrition, make sure the food you're eating, make sure you're eating enough food to begin with, but then make sure it's nutrient dense food, stuff that's actually going to benefit your body, benefit your digestion, benefit your clarity, and then benefit, you know, your muscle, I guess you could say, your recovery. So, and last but not least, go into the off season with the same mindset you would anything else, and that is the mindset to absolutely kill it. Keep pushing forward no matter what. But anyways, if you have any questions, comments, recommendations, things you'd like me to talk about, put them down in the comments. And yeah, see you guys in the next video.